Hi there, if you want to learn how to create sound effects, then you are in the right place. In this video, it's going to be a little bit different, not a tutorial style. What I'd like to do is show you around my studio here and show you the soundproofing and sound deadening that I did to control the sound in this room, but also to control the sound from outside the room from getting in. So the reason why I wanted to change my studio is because it was very, very echoey in this room before. So maybe I'll show you like a really quick video right now so you can hear of me clapping in the room to see how echoey it was. So as you can hear, super echoey, super loud, and very resonant. It's really hard to work in an environment like that. So yeah, I really wanted to be able to control it. And I have a friend who mentioned that what he did at his house is he put on Sonopan on all the walls, and he was really happy with the results that he got. And actually, the one regret that he said that he had is that he didn't put 2 layers of Sonopan everywhere. So I figured, you know what, it's probably the least expensive way to control this room, the sound in this room. So why don't I try that? Yeah, why don't I try that and see what happens? So that's what I did. It cost me about $1,000 Canadian to get 2 layers of Sonopan in the room. So I put 2 layers on all the walls here and 1 layer on the ceiling. And the reason I did just 1 layer on the ceiling is that there's nothing really above me. I'm on the top floor here, so there's nothing above me other than like the attic, which is already insulated from the ceiling and everything else. So I didn't need to do another layer up there. So there's 1 layer on the ceiling and 2 layers on all of the walls. Now, another point that I knew was going to be really a point that I need to really pay attention to was going to be the door. And the reason for that is that, which is right, where is it? It's right here. And the reason for that is because, like I said before, the house is really, really echoey. This room was echoey, but I could also hear a lot of the sound outside of this room, in the hallways and even downstairs on the main floor. The reason for that is because this house, we have, I think it's engineered hardwood or something like that, vinyl planks. I'm not too sure exactly what it is. Anyways, it's not carpet and it's not hardwood, but it's very echoey. So, yeah, I already knew that there's a lot of sounds coming through the door, so I really want to control that. So the way that I did that is I actually had my brother help me to do all the rest in this room. And one of the things he did is he put up a foam in the door frame. So apparently in the door frame, it's very common to have about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of air space, of gap, where there's kind of nothing there. So we fill that up with foam so that it kind of cuts out the air. There's some sort of material there so it can help with soundproofing. And then what we did here is we replaced the door that I had originally with a solid core door. So before we had a hollow core door, now I replaced it with a solid core door. And if you don't know the difference, I'll show you with an overlay on top of this video right now so you can kind of see the difference between the two. But basically, solid core door, there's kind of like holes inside the door. It's not complete wood everywhere, and a solid core door is. It's just completely hardwood everywhere. So that's what I did with the door here. And then what I also did is, all right, so if I can show you here, so here you can see the door right here. This is the door, and then you can see I have a Sonopan on the inside, and I also have one on the outside. So it's going to be stopping the any sound on the outside of the door here. It's already going to be stopping it from that Sonopan. Then I have the solid core door, and then I have another layer of Sonopan on the back of this door. So this door is going to be super, super well insulated. And one of the things that I really wanted to make sure is that all the seams were also very well insulated and very well covered. So you can see here I have barely any gap, and we even tested this with the light. It's kind of hard to show on video, but you can flash a light to see if there's any gaps, and there's a little tiny bit at the bottom, but that's it. But I tried to make it so that if I can show here, like that there's barely any gaps at the bottom. I try to bring the Sonopan as far down to the floor as possible, and yeah, and have it that way. All right, so once we had all the Sonopan up, the next step was to cover all of the Sonopan with this material here, which is polypropylene. And it's supposed to be some sort of like acoustic material that they use in cars to help reduce noise. I mean, it's very, very thin, so it's not gonna really reduce that much noise, but it's very breathable, and it's perfect acoustic material for this. It's gonna keep everything on all of the fibers that are part of the Sonopan panels up against the wall. It's not going to fall off or chip off or anything like that with that there. So yeah, I think, yeah, so we have Sonopan, polypropylene all around the room everywhere, so everything's a lot quieter. So maybe I can show you kind of what it sounds like now that we've had all of this done here. All right, so hopefully you can hear that's quite a drastic difference from what it was before. Super, super quiet. And also it really blocks out a lot of the sounds from outside. It's not 100%, it's not perfect, but it makes a big difference. Enough that I can actually record confidently in here, even if I have to wait until a car passes by. Like, you can barely hear it, but like if I'm recording stuff that where I really need the low end, then yeah, it's like I'm on a pretty quiet street, so I'm kind of fortunate for that. And I can just wait for a car to go by and then so I can keep recording. But yeah, not a big deal at all. So a few other things here that I haven't mentioned yet that I did is one is for the window here is I actually have blackout curtains. So these are a bit heavier, a bit fuller, so that it helps to deaden the sound a little bit if I really need it, so I can close those and control the sound there. Another thing that I did is at the bottom here under my desk, it's a little bit dirty here, so this is basically a vent cover. So it's basically Sonopan, 2 layers of Sonopan stapled together, and then we covered it with more polypropylene here. Basically what I can do here is I can put this up against the wall where the vent is. So it's going to cover the vent so that any sound that's coming from the vent is going to get absorbed. So it's kind of hard to show under the desk where the vent is, but if I can show you here, let's say the vent was at the bottom down here. I can just cover it like that, boom, like that, and then it helps to deaden the sound a little bit. It's not, again, it's not perfect, but it does make a difference and it kind of helps. All right, finally, one of the last things that I have in this room, which is kind of cool, is that there's actually a closet in this room. So can't really see it, I haven't really shown it, and the reason for that is because it's right behind this huge panel here. So if I put this down here, maybe I can open it up and show you. So it's kind of like this secret closet that I have here because we created this huge, massive Sonopan panel, and there's like 3-4 layers of Sonopan in there altogether. But yeah, behind here is the closet. So in here, yeah, I have all my stuff here where I have my accessories, mics, and everything else that I might want to use. So yeah, it's a little bit out of the way that I have to move this panel every time I want to access it. But honestly, it makes a nice big difference here because right behind this door, right behind this closet here is actually the bathroom. So you can actually hear when people are like flushing or using the washroom there. So yeah, having this huge panel here helps to cover that, helps to kill the sound on that side, which is really nice. All right, finally, one of the last things that I did here in terms of like controlling the echo and yeah, I guess just controlling the echo in this room is I put in a carpet here. So it's a pretty thin carpet. So if I show you here, you'll see it's not very thick. It's not very thick, but it is pretty big. Like it covers a good chunk of area here on the ground, which is good. I don't have one like under my desk over there. If I can show there. Yeah, so I don't have one under my desk, which maybe I should get one. Maybe that would help control, and maybe a thicker one. But anyways, that's what I have for now, and it has helped quite a bit here. Right, and then the last thing that I did to finish up my room here is I just put up some of these panels here. So these are like DIY panels that I made. They're basically 2x4s, and then inside of here I have Rockwool Safe and Sound insulation. So I just basically put a sheet in there, and then I covered it with this polypropylene-ish material, whatever this is. It might have even been a material that goes under like sofas, like the bottom part of a sofa or of a chair or something like that. That might be what that is. I don't know if it's any different than polypropylene, but anyways, yeah, so I have 6 of those around the room. And then after that, it was just a matter of putting up these little foam panels. I don't even know that these do anything. Honestly, I think maybe they control the high end a little bit. Honestly, I can't really tell the difference. But yeah, did that. Also put some like mini little bass traps here in the corner. I mean, you can hardly call them bass traps. They're again very like small foam plastic stuff, so they're not really going to control the bass. It's more for high frequency stuff in the corners, which again, I feel like they're kind of useless. I probably want to get some sort of like actual bass traps with like dense material in the corners, and maybe that will help. Anyways, why don't I show you the difference that I made in terms of sound. So I measured the sound of the room with no sound, nothing going on before all this project was taken on. So I'll show you on the screen right now. And as you can see, I think the average dB, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it on my phone right now, so I'm kind of going off memory here. It was 44 dB for the average. And that, again, that's pretty quiet, like it's decent. But then once I had all the insulation in, everything in place, and I retook with a SPL meter app, you can see now that my dB went down. I think it is at 32 dB. That was the average. So I dropped by 12 dB the sound of the room, which is pretty good. But the thing about it too, though, is that not only did the sound in the room drop by 12 dB, but like it also, I controlled the echo in the room, the reverb, resonances, right? The room is a lot more controlled. So I'm pretty happy with the results that I have so far. Again, these are pretty new for me right now. I haven't used it enough to have anything bad to say about it. I have recorded a few things in the room, and the recordings have come out like really clean and really great. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what I've done in the room. Yeah, if you guys have any comments or questions, or if you're looking at soundproofing your room, let me know. Maybe I can reply and offer you some tips or whatever that I've experienced as I've had to go through this like mini renovation. And if you have any other, if you have any tips for me for stuff I can put in my room, like I still have some bare space on the wall, so I'm thinking of maybe putting up some panels or something else up there. Anyways, if you have any suggestions, let me know, because I'm still looking at ways that I can maybe make the room work a little bit better and have less resonances and echo and stuff like that. So there's still a little bit. It's not perfect, but I'm really happy with the results so far. Anyways, thanks so much for watching all the way through to the end here. And like I said, yeah, comments, questions, leave it down below. I'll do my best to answer. And if you want to see another video where I did a kind of studio tour and I showed you everything that I have in my studio, what I use for work, I'll have that on the screen here. And I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next video.